Good evening. How are you today? Welcome to Sri Lanka's first LinkedIn Live talk show, Cinnamon Chat with Amita. For me, it has been a long day. I had a workshop in the morning, had some client meetings. I was out meeting people today, and then came home, got myself prepared for this. So I hope you have gone out, worked, and probably at home with a cup of tea. And we have a little bit of fuel today. The fuel crisis is somewhat managed, so people go around, go about their work. So I hope you are back at home, and would like to welcome all of you who are joining on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So, you know, I've been running this talk show for last 72 weeks, and today is the 73rd week. And then sometimes I started solo, and then after sometimes I decided to bring in an expert, and then I've been doing it for some time. And then Sri Lanka started going through this financial crisis, and then we started getting long power cuts, not only short power cuts. And then I think government has implemented again a 3 hour power cut a day. So sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time I have a problem now in getting getting a guest at this time of the day where power cuts are. I mean, this is the peak hour, so most of my guests have this problem. So what do I do now? Uh, I go live solo by myself until this problem is sorted. So, talking about myself, I myself is a executive coach. I love coaching CEOs, and most of my clients are foreign. And then I help my clients again with personal branding. I also help large organizations when it comes to their B2B sales related trainings. I do trainings. And then apart from that, I help organizations and individuals manage their LinkedIn strategy, LinkedIn marketing. So with all that, I also help the community. So this is one way that I help my community. I go live on every Thursday at 8:30 in the night, and then I bring in appropriate topics. So today I thought, with the current situation, sometimes more than the large organizations, small organizations are going through a tough time. When I say small organization, they could be in any industry, FMCG, services, or you are some kind of a vendor, you are supplying to B2B, or maybe you are a roadside vendor, maybe you are a grocery. So these small businesses are going through tough time more than the bigger ones. Of course, sometimes for the bigger organizations to feel the pain, it takes some time because their ability to absorb these shocks are better. So looking at smaller vendors, I thought, we as consumers, we as friends, we as people who could do some kind of influence, how best can we help? If I'm running a large organization, how can I help? If I'm a CEO to a large organization, how can I help a small organization? If I'm a person with larger network as an individual, how can I leverage that larger network to help the small vendors, smaller organizations, smaller consultants, smaller agencies? So I thought of running this episode under the topic of let's help small businesses get through tough times. So it's not about others, it's about we as consumers, how best can we help the small vendors, small organizations, smaller consultants, smaller agencies, smaller manufacturers. And I run multiple things. I run a Facebook page called Sales Guru, where we bring in a vendor or a manufacturer or someone to the show, and we talk to that person and we listen to the story and we share the story. It doesn't cost them anything, but then I expose them to our network. I share their story on my social media uh, channels. So likewise, I personally do a lot of things. Whenever I go out and I meet someone doing a great job, I go and tell the world about, hey, look, this guy is doing a brilliant job. Why don't you buy from the same person? And these are the kind of things that we do. I do basically. So we have two friends here. We have uh, Subhashi, and then Subhashi is into manufacturing of footwear. Another small vendor, and we have Dilani, and Dilani is one of the top content writers in the country, hailing from Kandy, and actually this today's show is dedicated to you. Like how best can we at least help each other? And I myself fall into the category of probably small or medium sized business. I'm not a large organization, and and of course I know how to market myself, how to leverage my personal brand, but not everyone is an expert on the subject. So that is one of the reason why I run these kind of programs. So let's get into today's topic and see how best we could help small organizations to uh, prosper or survive during tough times. Now, Subhashi and Dilani, uh, this is not about me coming and helping you, but then you, me, and everybody helping another player in the market. So, if you look at Sri Lanka, as far as the numbers are concerned, small and medium sized enterprises or SMEs make up a large part of the economy, just like any other country. But I'm sure, uh, probably USA is bigger. They have a bigger SME community than ours. So we have over 1 million SMEs accounting for about approximately 75% of all businesses in the country. So it's the SME dominated economy. And then you will find them in all sectors of the economy: manufacturing, trading, FMCG, services, and they contribute to a little over 50% of the total employment of Sri Lanka. It's not the large corporations, more than 50% of the employees are in this sector. And talking about the GDP, again, same situation. They actually support or contribute to uh, to around 50% or little over 50% of the GDP. So I think we have all the reasons to support SMEs, small businesses, small vendors, manufacturers, because they are running the economy, especially the local economy. I think probably around 5 to 8% of those vendors are also contributing to the export economy of the country. So we have all the reasons why we need to support the SME uh, community, the SME owners, SMEs basically. So what can we do? One thing is, if you are a large organization, if you are a senior manager working in a large organization, if you know a large organization, those large organizations could hire small vendors for their business services. Of course, we always support bigger businesses. Like I go to supermarkets and buy, I go to maybe malls and buy, right? I order my software from a larger software vendor maybe. But there may be an opportunity for us to hire a small vendor, small agency. Maybe maybe you are big now, but then you would have been smaller long ago. You were there once, and someone gave you a hand, someone gave you a support, and today you are big. Listen to those big organizations today when they talk about their how they started. You hear these stories. They tell, hey, look, I mean, we were very small, we were struggling, but there were customers who were buying from us. That's what they say. So now you are big. How about supporting those smaller organizations and helping them? So we have Dr. Dina Sadiq. She is one of the top uh, uh, doctor in the field of nutrition and fitness, buying product services from smaller business as much as possible, and becoming aware of this can eventually help, like vegetable, meat. They even cost lesser, and of course, are in good quality. Yeah. uh, she being a nutrition expert, I can imagine how concerned she is about the vegetables and the meat that she buys. So, so likewise, we need to see where we can get the support of a small vendor purely to support the small vendor. If you start looking for large organizations only, then you are not supporting small organizations. Maybe you have forgotten your past. You have forgotten how you started your business long ago. So that's one thing that we could do. What else? I mean, I thought about maybe talk about 8 to 10 points on how best can we support a small vendor, SME, a manufacturer. The other thing what you could do is, if you are happy with them, or if you think that what they do is interesting, follow them on social media. Sometimes, maybe there is a vendor and you can ask them, maybe it's the same person who sell vegetables to you. You can ask them, are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Are you on TikTok? At least they will think twice. Okay, there are so many people who are asking whether we are on Facebook. I know the pain sometimes when they are not relevant to you. Like I I virtually get invitations to like pages, uh, where maybe they are bridal dressing, or maybe they are into makeup, which where I have no relevance at all. But then some, I could be, maybe there's some interest in me on those kind of things. Maybe I'm not buying a specific service or a product at this moment, but then I kind of, follow them. I'm sure, you know, almost everybody who has liked the Mercedes Benz page probably do not have a Mercedes Benz, but they like the brand. So sometimes if you go to somebody's Facebook page or a LinkedIn page or a Instagram page, there could be reasons why you should follow them. Maybe their creativity, maybe the way they create content, maybe I could learn something from them. So why don't we ask them? Sometimes it'll encourage them to open a Facebook page or an Instagram page or even a LinkedIn page. you know. I mean, this is one of the questions that I ask. Even if it is B2C, if there's some relevance, I ask them, hey, how come that you are not on LinkedIn? Why don't you start a page? I went to your LinkedIn page and then I didn't see content for last 3 months. Make them feel guilty. Let them know that some customers are interested. So you need to do that. If you do it to someone else and someone else is going to come and do it to you and say, hey, look, how about your company page? Yeah. So I think that is something that you could do. Ask them for the details of the Facebook page, right? Remember that you support a lot of celebrities, even though you don't know them, like you know them, but then there's no personal connections and you have no benefit, but you still go and like it, like their page, like their profile. How about doing it to the local vendor where you buy stuff on a daily basis, weekly basis? Or how about liking the salon that you go? Or how about the the shop that you buy your shoes always. How about liking it? Because you have anyway followed and liked the celebrity that you don't know of. Sometimes those celebrities are not even here in this country, but you still follow them, like them, share their content. But you don't want to like or share the content of the local vendor whom you buy your shoes every month or every other month. So I think it's time that you go and support those vendors, those SMEs where you deal with them, you buy from them. Think about it. Yeah. So we have, Dr. Dina also saying, giving chances for collaborations. Definitely yes. Especially if you are a large organization. I'm coming to that point. We can give them opportunities for collaborations. You can work together. Win-win formula. Just give me a second. Okay. Thank you. So we have Mahinda, valuable discussion at the moment. Yeah, Mahinda, we need to help each other. We need to see how best we could help the local economy. We could be criticizing. We could be telling, okay, government is not doing something, the officials are not doing something. Is there anything that we could do other than criticizing? Yeah, of course, constructive criticism is required. But then can we do something? Action. This is what I'm doing. You know, reminding people, hey, look, it is us who should go and help the local vendors. It is us who need to restart Sri Lanka. Government is not going to do it. They can't do it. It's a government. They are not in business. We are in business and we need to do it. Yeah. So we have Tikshana, interesting. Tikshana, thank you for joining the discussion. Please add comment. How best can we help small businesses as consumers, as individuals, for them to run their business in a tough time? That is the discussion today. That's the topic today. Yep. So let's go to the next point. If you are a bigger organization, as Dr. Dina said, collaborate with them. Ask the small vendors to supply to your employees. Ask them to display items on the payday. And some of the government organizations and even large buildings like Isurupaya or Setsiripaya, on the salary day, they have allowed vendors to come and display their products. I'm sure they are charging them for the space, but it's okay. Give them an opportunity. So on the salary day, the employees of those organizations will spend maybe 2% or 1% of their income or half a percent of their income uh, to buy something from those vendors, those SMEs. I mean, it is only applicable for product related ones. Maybe you can uh, have a little space on a wall, on a notice board for small vendors or SMEs to display their products and services, display their leaflets. So if you have a party at office, look for a small vendor and say, hey, look, why don't you supply? We are having a party today or tomorrow or next week. Can you supply these items? Looking for a cake supplier. Of course, we need to buy from large organizations, but then if you are buying 10 times for large organization, maybe buy 5 times from them and give the balance 5 to small vendors. So it is very important that we make sure that as much as large organizations survive, that small organizations also do survive. We have Prasadini Anuradha, and she's saying interesting. We have Nishanka De Silva, living is giving. You are giving your knowledge to community respect. Nishanka, thank you very much for helping Sri Lanka, uh, especially the environment, to survive without plastic. He's the founder of Zero Plastic National Movement of Sri Lanka. I know these days you are in Kandy, your teams are in Kandy, clearing the Asala Perahera when people misuse the using of plastic, especially single-use plastics, PET bottles. So what you are doing is probably a greater cause. So thank you very much for coming to the show. And Dilani says, purchasing from local vendors, adding reviews regarding their services and product qualities help to grow up their business. You know, you being a SEO content writer, you know how things work, how Google reviews, how Facebook reviews would work. Definitely, I agree with you. Uh, Now, the problem is, Dilani, I have seen a lot of people, whenever there's, there is a service breakdown, when there is an issue with the product, the first thing that they do is they go and review the place badly. The best example is, I don't know how far it is true. Sri Lankans were fighting the some of the businesses in Uganda, and they decided to go and badly review a hotel in Uganda, thinking that it belongs to the former president and their relatives. And then they also went and reviewed badly a hotel which has the same name in down south. So finally they came and said, hey guys, we are innocent, why are you attacking us? Just think about it. So before you jump the gun and say, hey, look, your service is horrible, how about talking to them and, hey, look, can you fix this? We see a problem. I know sometimes they they may not take this seriously. And today I was at a particular organization, a large organization, and I was talking to a very senior manager, and some reason this customer care topic came. And he said that he has a supermarket. Of course, this is a large organization near his house. And then one day he and his son bought an ice cream. And then after coming out of the supermarket, the child has told, this is not the flavor I want, or not the brand I want. Please change it. So he just went back into the supermarket within few seconds and said, hey, look, we brought the wrong thing. Can we exchange this? I think it's a reasonable request for an ice cream. It's for a kid, and the kid is there. And then the manager has been bit rude and saying, you should have thought about it before buying and all that. And he said he had a gold card based on the loyalty to that supermarket, and he has anyway he has not, like, they have not exchanged it, so he has purchased the other ice cream and they have come. And that was the last day that he ever went to that supermarket. Mind you, it's the closest supermarket to his house. So whether you are a small or big, these kind of service breakdowns could take your business this way. So especially when it comes to smaller businesses, there may be no dedicated customer care department, unlike the large organization. So sometimes we need to bear with them. So talking about the reviews, there are two sides to the reviews, the good reviews and the bad reviews. And we are famous for, uh, hurriedly review pages, products in a bad way. So my humble request, if a small vendor, if a SME is making a mistake, talk to them, help them fix the problem before you take it to social media. That's another way. It's easy to kill a business. Maybe you are furious. Sometimes you are talking about only a 500 rupee item, and you might say, hey, look, 500 rupees hard earned money. I get it. 100% I agree. I'm sure we sometimes spend or waste more money than 500 rupees. Because of that 500 rupees, I could go to the next level and make sure that I kill that business? Should I do it at this moment? Because it is a vicious cycle. I make sure that a lot of businesses are closed because my reviews are bad. What happens to the local economy? Local economy will further struggle. Imagine I do a bad review, and if a restaurant closes down, all the suppliers to that restaurant will be in trouble. Their families too, everybody will be in trouble. So it's easy to speak negatively. It is easy to talk to the social media and say, hey, look, they do all these bad things. Uh, Unless and otherwise your the loss is extreme, it's unbearable, right? Or maybe it has poisoned your kid, maybe it's food poisoning. Yeah, but still, I think you can still talk to them and see whether there's a way to compensate or to solve it amicably. Look at the options. You have to be solution oriented. So that's another point that I wanted to talk about. uh, we talked about following the social media, collaborating with a small organization as an organization. And then other thing is, you as an individual, even though you don't uh, always buy, say for an example, now I don't buy cinnamon except for consumption at home, but I'm in a group, the cinnamon vendors group, because sometimes I meet people, foreigners, foreign buyers, sometimes Sri Lankans living in another country. They ask me, Amita, I'm looking to purchase cinnamon on a continuous basis. Do you know somebody? And I could always refer someone because I'm in that group. Now, I'm going to go to my Facebook at this moment and see where and where, what are some of the groups that I'm in. Um, okay, many groups like herbal food manufacturers, and then commercial farming, then various groups, tourism groups, various farming groups. Uh, there's another group called Sarabhumi. They are into uh, gardening, farming, um, and online entrepreneurs club, Habutale hotels, restaurant tours, and sites and hikes. I'm from Habutale, so obviously I would like to support the hotels, restaurants in Habutale. So likewise, I'm in many groups, probably more than 150 groups. So if somebody is asking me, people ask me, hey Amita, do you know someone who manufacture this, who provides this service? I always refer them. Hey, look, talk to them. They will help you. And these are the vendors that I can recommend. S- So, you know, if you know the meaning of networking, networking has a different definition. Now, people who are in sales and business believe most of the time networking is about me going to you, exchange visiting cards, and try to sell something to you one day. That's networking. But that's wrong. Networking is about knowing person A and knowing person B. Imagine A doesn't know B. And when A wants something, and if B has that, I would like to connect them. That's networking. So I have helped A buy something from B. A is happy with me, B is happy with me. So that's called networking. That's real networking. For that, you need to know a lot of people so that you can put them together. I get to know a lot of people, not for my benefit alone, but mostly it is to help other parties, third parties. What happens is eventually, whenever I need a help, I always get it. I always go and post if I can't find something on social media and say, recently there was a there was a uh, supply issue with regard to size 24 tires, bicycle tires. And then all what I had to do was like, I went to social media and said, hey, look, I'm looking for size 24 bicycle tires for my son's bicycle. I mean, the answers were pouring in. I had to go eventually and say, thank you very much, I found them. There was somebody who delivered it to my home, mind you. I mean, you just have to ask that help, because I have helped so many. How have I helped? I have helped them by connecting other people. That's called networking. So whenever you need a help, you just have to post it, and then so many would want to willingly come and help. That's networking. So uh, now there's this another example. I was looking for a small t-shirt manufacturer, a producer, and I posted it yesterday. I will share this experience. And then I said, this is my WhatsApp number, send details. So probably I would have had about, 30, 35, 40 people tagging different parties. That means they are, you know, connecting them to me. And then I requested them to WhatsApp me, but then half of them started calling me, and it was so difficult for me. I was not expecting a call, but I had to answer a few because I didn't know who was calling. Maybe it could be one of my customers, my potential customers. So whatever the calls possible, I answered, but then I have given very clear instructions, WhatsApp me the details. So then I realized, oh my God, there are so many t-shirt producers, and some were communicating very professionally. The details were asked, the samples, photos were sent, and some were reluctant or some were struggling. You know, so that also tells how small businesses are struggling. No, they are not perfect like the large organization. Did I get angry? No, I think I need to help them, to teach them, give my inputs on how to handle a potential client. Interesting. So you can see how small companies are struggling, because we tend to compare, because we buy from large organizations. Whenever there is a mistake, a shortcoming from a small vendor, a small supplier, we tend to take it very seriously. Look, this is how they are giving the service. But probably the vendor who spoke to me is the producer. He's the guy who is printing the t-shirt. He's the guy who is stitching the t-shirt. He's the same person who is going to the market and buying the raw materials. Maybe he's the guy who is wrapping them. Maybe he's the same guy who is sending it out. So it's perfectly all right if they make a, a mistake, a slight mistake. Let's tolerate. Tell them that you made a mistake and help them grow. That's what we need to do to help the SMEs. So I talked about joining various groups. Let's talk about few more points. Okay, you can mentor the upcoming businesses based on your expertise. Maybe you are a finance specialist. Maybe you are a marketing specialist. Maybe you are a content specialist. Maybe you are a legal expert. How about mentoring some of these organizations where you have seen them growing based on your expertise? I was talking to SME 2 days before, and then I saw that their logo was nice, and I realized they have that SME owner has copied that logo from a global brand. He has added additional letter, changed the logo slightly, but then anyone would see the similarity. And then he has covered, let's say, 10% of the market. I said, you have only covered 10%. Imagine you cover 50% of the market and you get a letter of demand from that overseas global supplier, marketer saying, hey, look, you will hear from my lawyer, immediately stop copying my logo. He was like, oh my God, I never thought about it. I said, I'm not a legal expert, but then me being a marketing expert, I can see you are going there and you will be in trouble. So I can mentor them. I said, talk to your lawyer. If you don't have any, I will connect you to somebody and see. Then he said, yeah, yeah. I mean, I never thought about it. I think I have to, I'm, I'm planning to expand my business to go to the balance 15% so that I'll have a 25% coverage. And I better look at it before I go further. And he has not gone to social media as yet. And he said that he would stop going to social media right now and then wait to get a second opinion, a clarification from a legal expert. So, another way to help small organizations or SMEs is if you are an expert on a particular subject, give them some inputs, mentor one or two, which will help them. And you are eventually helping Sri Lanka. You are helping the local economy. Government can't do all that. You need to do that. I need to do it as a consumer, as a responsible citizen. I can criticize, but then doing something is much more better than criticizing. Let me go to the next point. So, uh, we were talking about mentoring an upcoming business. Then the other thing is you can refer new customers to small businesses, recommend them to your network, and not only when they ask for it. I mean, if somebody asks me, hey, Amit, I want to buy a cake, of course I will refer somebody. But then I could also go and tell them, hey, if you are looking for cake, there is a great place over there. Why do you have to wait till somebody ask from you? You can also push it, help them grow. I have my friend coming here. Hi, Tamit. Tamit is helping me to help SME owners by running Sales Guru Facebook page. A great work, a voluntary work, painful work with the power cuts. But thank you very much, Tamit, helping me to help SMEs. Let's go to the next point. Probably I have maybe two more points. Offer discounted services to small businesses. If I'm a supplier and if I know that there is this small business buying from my organization, we always offer quantity discount. Now, who can buy the quantity? It is the large organizations. How about we offer a discount for a small business so that the small business can survive? Because we are talking about surviving this uh, tough time. Now, I know we do this. we we go and ask discount from small vendors. Think about it. Whenever there is a small vendor, the bargaining power of the small vendor is less. So there is a tendency, can I buy 10 pieces and then can you give me a discount? But let's say you go to a large organization, you will never ask for that discount because it says prices are fixed. But from a small vendor, you would want to probably bargain a little bit. My recommendation is don't do that. Right? If there is a small vendor, SME buying from you, offer them a discount. Hey, look, we know that you are a small vendor. Can we offer you 3% discount? But generally, what we say is, hey, if you buy a larger quantity, we will give you a discount. What eventually happens is you are giving that discount to a large organization who can actually buy that kind of a quantity. So Dilani says, as a person, I definitely help one person every day regarding their website related issues by mentoring. If anyone that is looking for such a support is here, they can contact me. Yeah, don't expect Dilani to, do everything free of charge for you. But then some inputs can be given about your website and how you have managed your website so far. So that's another way of looking at it. As a SEO content writer, she could definitely give you some inputs. What else can we do? Uh, if something is not right, you might see that their service is not good, their packaging is not good, how someone who is at the restaurant, at the hotel, at the shop is treating you is not right. My recommendation, before you take it to social media, tell them nicely, advise them, say the courier got delayed, your delivery was late, but I'll tell you how to improve it, because they are trying hard. It's easy to criticize. If the payment process is not easy, you tell them, look, your payment process is not smooth. I think there's a challenge. So if you could do this, if you could automate it, why don't you go for this card, this machine, uh, go for this service? It'll be better for you. So likewise, give them some inputs. And then what else can you do? Suppose if you see that they are celebrating something, maybe they are celebrating their second year anniversary. Or you might go to BMICH or some other place and you will see that they also have participated in the exhibition. They also have a stall. Take a photo and share. Your favorite restaurant is at this exhibition. Your favorite shoe producer is at this exhibition. If there's something that is happening in their life, in their business that needs celebration, share it with your network and say, hey, look, they are celebrating second year anniversary. I can recommend their service. Why don't you help them? Why don't you buy them? That's another way to help them, to those SMEs, small business, micro or SME business owners. And when you treat them nicely, naturally, you are doing good karma. Everything should happen, or all the good things should happen to you as well, because you are helping someone with that pure heart, not expecting anything, because they are just a small supplier. What else can you do? Uh, Now, in my case, not only I leave positive reviews, what I do is I also go and write uh, about them. Now, I can remember once, this is one of my favorite stories. I went to Haputale and then I went to a restaurant in Beragala, and then I actually had a cup of tea from them, and the gentleman was so nice. I looked for the owner came and spoke to me. I went and wrote about him on LinkedIn and on Facebook. I mean, those two articles were the most shared articles on Facebook and on LinkedIn. I think on Facebook it got reshared 3,200 times. I was not expecting any benefit. I was sharing my experience with some photos and how that business owner started his business. Eventually, we ended up uh, at a later date, my younger son uh, developed, rather created a YouTube video about his business and posted on his YouTube channel, which is Cinnamon Chat with Netila YouTube channel, and that got viral. A lot of people got to know about that business. So I go to that extent. For your information, Netila is about to make a video of someone who is collecting trash. Like, he collects all the unwanted items, and he has made a fortune out of it. Of course, he's helping the society, right? Whatever we throw away, he collects and then he resells. And then we accidentally met him, and probably this weekend we would be at his location making a video about how he is helping the society. Trash is cash. So likewise, in my case, I go to that extent. It's not just about leaving a positive review. But if possible, I will write about them. I will take a photo and post it. I'll take a video and post it. I could go to that extent. Why can't you do it? I think we all should do it. The world will be a better place. I don't think they have the marketing expertise or the budget to do any of this. We could be their marketing budget. We could be their voice if you could do it. I do it all the time. Go to my social media uh, pages, my profiles, you will see. And then this is a beautiful conversation that I had with one of my friend who got graduated from a top digital marketing school recently. And he and I was having this discussion. He said, "Yeah, Amita, I'm doing okay, and I would like to help one or two organizations, small, since you are working with SMEs. Let me know if I could handle one or two Facebook pages of a SME. Especially if someone has not created a Facebook page, I could help for 3 months." I said, "Hey, that's brilliant. I mean, everybody who is graduating from all these top business schools, whatever the field, they should help SMEs for 3 months by giving their services completely free of charge. So, in exchange, you gain experience with a real Facebook page or a digital channel, maybe real YouTube channel, instead of just creating something for you. Think about it. That's another way of supporting uh, the SME. So, I'm going to connect him to two uh, SME owners who don't have Facebook pages or who don't know how to do it. He's going to teach them, create the page, manage them for 3 months. How beautiful is that? So that's the extent. Now imagine me. I was going to a training program in the morning. This is the conversation I was having with another person. So probably universe was looking at me, and then I am having a discussion with a SME business owner tonight around 10 o'clock in the night, where I'm doing some mentoring. And today is the first day we are meeting him online. And I'm going to ask, the first thing is, do you have your social media pages ready? And if the answer is no, I'm going to tell him, "Hey, look, would you like to get it done free of charge, creating and managing it for 3 months?" And if he says yes, my friend is going to help him. This is how you help the SMEs. Do I have to become a social media expert to do that? No. All I have to do is network, connect two parties, help both parties. And then whenever you need help, I'm sure there will be so many people who would want to come and help you. So we talked about a lot, and I think it would definitely help you to understand how best you should help the SMEs, the small vendors who are struggling and who are going through a tough time these days. So it is everybody's responsibility. And probably I'll make a 3 minutes video out of this whole video today about all these tips, and then post this back again so that everybody could go and help uh, get this local economic engine to restart. Yeah, until we receive dollars, we need to depend on the local economy. So let's help each other. Let's go out, buy something, post it, help them, leave a positive review, mentor them wherever possible. Of course, this is not to say not to help large organizations. Please help large organizations, but as much as you help them, help the small organization. At the same time, if you are working for a large organization, if you are owner of a large organization, help the small businesses as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's this is episode number 72 that I have been running. And today we talked about let's help small businesses get through tough times, and planning to bring in an expert next week on financial management. How do you manage your finances, especially at home? So look forward to see you, all of you, next week to talk about managing your finances at home. I'm not an expert, but I'm going to bring an expert. And until we meet next week, um, I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay positive, and more than that, do something positive. Thank you very much, and good night.